how to get great Christmas light photos easily. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can get some amazing Christmas or holiday or winter or whatever light display that you're going out to, how you can get some amazing pictures, you can do it easily, and, well, you can enjoy doing it. But first, who am I? My name is Mike Patterson, and I have been a full-time professional photographer here in Western Canada for over 41 years. In addition to that, I've worked at and I've owned a number of photo labs, and I currently own a photo lab here in Western Canada, and I print from photographers from beginners to professionals from all around the world. I teach photography, I do my nature and wildlife photography. My whole life is based in photography. And I like to make photography fun and enjoyable for everybody. And in this video, that's what we're going to do. So, we have a local garden. It's called Nikayuko Japanese Garden. And they put on a winter light festival using Christmas lights to light up the garden. And it's amazing. They currently have, I think they said, 170,000 plus lights within the garden. And during the Christmas break, we as a family decided to do something, and it was to go as a family to wander around this light display and to enjoy it. It's throughout the garden, so you go into the garden and you walk around with other people. Now, yes, you could take a tripod, yes, you could take pictures, but taking a tripod into areas like this, when there's other people walking around, when it's dark, when it just can be an absolute pain. Can you do it? Sure, you can do it. Is it advisable to do? In a lot of ways, no. So I like to go into a situation like this as easy as possible to get great pictures, but without, well, being a pain, without taking up the whole pathway, without tripping people or myself or having to carry a ton of gear. And because my family was going with me, I didn't want to be carrying a bunch of gear and having them have to wait and stand around and so on and so forth while I was taking pictures. So what did I do? Well, I grabbed myself my Canon 5D Mark IV camera. I put on a 24-70 f4L lens, and I hit it out to take pictures. Now, again, like I said, I'm trying to make this as simple for myself and for you guys as is possible. I'm not trying to make it so that you are going out on some type of an expedition and you're going to spend hours taking pictures. This was to go out to take pictures, to enjoy some pictures, to remember the night, and it was something to be fun. You can do this with any camera. It doesn't have to be a Canon 5D Mark IV. You can do this with a mirrorless camera. You can do this with a more amateur camera. You could even do this with a point-and-shoot camera. I make this as simple as humanly possible for the settings and so on and so forth so that you can get pictures. So, first of all, I did not take a tripod with me. If you're going to do something like this and you're afraid that you're not going to be able to handhold the camera steadily enough, then I would suggest taking a monopod with you if you have one. But in this case, I handheld the camera. Now, if your camera has image stabilizing, anything that stops the shake, it will really help. But again, you don't need this. I have done this for years with film. I've done this with slides. I've done this with digital, and I've handheld every time doing it. So I got the camera. I set up the camera on program mode. Now, I know on program mode that when I walk into an area that's brighter, it's automatically going to compensate for me. When I go in an area that's darker, it's going to compensate for that. So I know that that's going to work for me. But when you're taking pictures of lights, they tend to be too bright. Unless you get the full frame full of Christmas lights, you're not going to get a good meter reading. So I go into exposure compensation, and I turn my exposure compensation down to usually -1, sometimes minus 1.67 in that area. And I find that the lights look a lot clearer, a lot brighter without being blown out. And it's just something that, well, I've done for years and it works. For the ISO, I started with the ISO at 800. It worked good at 800, but just a touch too slow for my liking. So after taking a few pictures, taking a look in the back of the camera to see what the pictures look like, I cranked my ISO up to 1600. Now, if you have a newer camera in the last 10 years, you're probably going to have no problem whatsoever going up to 1600 ISO to get these pictures. You probably, in some of the newer cameras, if it's the last 2 or 3 years, you can probably even go up to 3200 ISO with no problem. And that will give you faster shutter speed, and that will give you a little bit better aperture as well if you're concerned about the depth of field. I don't find the aperture is a big thing when doing this. I find I have good depth of field. I find that it's not too shallow. I find it works perfect for that. If you have a faster lens where it's like an f1.2 or an f2, you could even go down lower in the aperture to get more blurry backgrounds, but I didn't want that this time. So program mode, -1, -1.67 for your EV, around 1600 ISO. And then I went out to take pictures. That's all it was. Kept it on autofocus. Autofocus worked fine. Did perfect job of picking it up. Hand held the camera nice and steady. 2 hands. One hand on the camera for the shutter. 1 hand underneath. Pulled it in nice and close. And I averaged around 1/30th to 1/50th of a second for my shutter speed. It worked really well. Shot a lot of the stuff around 24 to 50 millimeters. So my general rule is that if I can shoot at least as fast as a millimeter, so if I'm shooting at a 50 millimeter, 1/50th of a second, and then with the image stabilizing, I find it works perfect, and it did work perfect. For the light display, it went anywhere from f4 up to 5.6, depending how bright it was. And I let the program mode do all of my exposure, do all my calculations, and I just walked around the garden with my family taking pictures. Now, is there anything that I would change if I was doing this again? Well, there's one big thing that I would have changed that I didn't take with me, and that was I would have taken the flash, so I could have done some people pictures as well of my family in the garden. I didn't take it, and the 5D Mark IV doesn't have a built-in flash. It wasn't a big deal. I wasn't planning on doing it, but it would have been something that I would have done just to make sure that I got better quality. I left the color balance on auto color balance. I find it works very well. You could put it on a set color balance. You could put it on daylight. You could put it on just about anything. You'll notice that we'll change the color of some of the lights. Other ones of the lights will stay the same. I find auto color balance works really well. And that's what I did. I just wandered around the garden. And as you've been seeing as I've been talking, I've been showing you some pictures, and they turned out really good. Now, what did I do in processing when I got back to the office? When I got back to the office, I loaded them on my computer, went through, pulled some of the images that I liked, approximately 100 of them, and then I ran it through a program that sharpened it just a little bit because I like that sharper look of the lights. I think it looks really cool. And I added some saturation to it because I find that the saturation, no matter what setting I use, especially if you're using RAW, you have to go and bump your saturation so the Christmas lights look a little bit nicer. In some situations, I also played with the contrast a little bit to get rid of some of the, should I say, bleed look from some of the other lights in the area to make it a little bit darker so that the Christmas lights stood out. But that's all I did. And I went through and I actually ran an action in one of my programs to do that for me. It took me probably 10 seconds, 15 seconds. The pictures look great. The pictures look fantastic. I went through a couple of the pictures. I noticed the sky looked quite dark. It was an overcast night that night. So even if I would have used a tripod with a long exposure, there would have been nothing to pick up. So in Photoshop, I went through and I took an image that I shot a little while ago of some stars, and I actually added it to the sky so that I had some stars up in the sky to balance off the lights. And that's all I did. It was quite simple, quite straightforward. It was a nice night, a little bit crispy at times, but I was able to take quick pictures, not have to take my hands out of the gloves for half an hour, just snap the picture and away I went. And the pictures look wonderful. So if you're looking at going out taking pictures of Christmas lights, there's some hints and suggestions for you. I'll put some more pictures at the end of this video, and I hope you have fun doing it. It's really a fun time. If you are going out, one little suggestion for you. I do find, if possible, if you can get out just before it gets pitch black. So if it gets dark at, let's say, 6:30, and I mean dark, I'm not talking about sunset, I'm talking pitch black at 6:30. If you show up around 6 o'clock, 6:15, just before it gets completely dark, you just get a little bit more separation from trees and buildings in the pictures. But at the same time, in my case, that was the schedule. We had a hockey game before that for one of my grandsons, so our schedule was to show up when it was dark, but I think the pictures turned out great anyways. So until next time, have a fantastic time. Get out there, take some amazing pictures, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.